Hi, I'm Teresa from Phoenix Gate Crafts, and I'm introducing a new craft today, and that craft is cross stitch. I'm not going to dedicate this channel to cross stitch, but this is my stitchy channel, and this is a stitchy craft that I'm doing a lot in right now. So I figured I'd start off by showing you how I organize my floss stash. Yes, I've got a yarn stash, I've got a bead stash, I've got a floss stash, I've got a lot of stashes, but no mustache. This is kind of the key stuff, just like yarn is in knitting and crochet. And there are many different ways to organize it. Unfortunately, I can only show you one actual way to organize floss in real life. That's because this is the way I like to do it. This is by no means the only way. Floss comes in little skeins, and I'll throw up a picture here of a skein of DMC brand of floss. DMC is the main brand of floss, but it is not the only one. Anchor is another main brand. J&P Coats is another. There's lots of options. And there's also off-brand stuff from various companies, but it usually comes in little skeins like this. And then there's also floss drops, which you can do with the bobbins, but I don't like to do it because it tends to get tangled. And although you can pull one thread out at a time, I like to separate off 2 threads at a time because I usually, on 14 count Aida, I use 2 strands at a time. So, let's show you the bobbins. If I can get this sucker open. There we go. Alright, so this is a bobbin, and it is plastic. They also have cardboard bobbins that don't quite last as long or as sturdily, but on the cardboard ones, you can easily write the number. Most people write their number here or here. I don't do that. I tend to write mine right here because, I don't know, I just find it easier. I like it centered. This is not actually a number. I mean, this is an actual number. That's not what the color here is. Anything I wrote directly on my bobbin is not that color. It's what it was standing in for during a particular project. Now, you can organize bobbins in number order or rainbow order. This box is all my stuff that doesn't actually have numbers. A lot of this is off-brand crap. Yes, a lot of it is crap. Some of it I got and it just didn't have the numbers that most brands have, or it was something I opened when I was a teenager or a child and I didn't keep the numbers or anything, and therefore I have no idea what colors these are. So I put these in rainbow order, and whenever I'm doing a small project where it's okay for me to use any color, I can pick from this rainbow order until it runs out. It will likely never run out because I purchase a lot of floss from secondhand stores. But that's not a lot of floss. This is a lot of floss. So this container actually has 2 sides. It has this side, which is all of my extras. Pretty much everything here was purchased either for a project or I bought it in a pack of threads, and so I have the numbers and everything. So that's what this is. I do not know how many are in here. If you would like, you can pause the video and let me know. But more importantly, This side has the floss for a project, just one project. It is a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, absolutely giant stained glass window project. These are all in number order. The other side is also in number order, except for the 310s, which is pure black, because I have 40 of those bobbins. I might have stolen one though. But to answer the most common question, do you do rainbow order or number order? I mostly do number order where I can. So the reason I do number order is that, yeah, when you've got a project and you're trying to find like that perfect shade of red, it is a little harder doing it. But if you've got a project and you're looking for a specific number, you don't have to know if it's a red or a green or whatever. You can just find it. So if I needed 744, I could go and I look, these are 500s, this is 744 right here. If I needed 892, well, there's 890, 891, and 890. Holy smokes. This actually identifies a problem. Is this 890? Or is this one 890? So I've got to figure that out, because I do not know. Oh, 899. Sometimes I can read, but you get the point. It's a lot easier to find something because you've got the number and you know how numbers work. But these two are not the boxes I use to actually do projects out of. These are how I store them, and although, yeah, I have a project in this one, when I have small projects, I'm not going to combine them in that. Instead, I will use this one. So, this right here is a needle minder. It's got a magnet, and usually you have another magnet, and you put this one, this pretty side, on top of your work, and then you have the other magnet on the bottom securing it to the fabric, and then you can move it around as you need, and you can put your needles on it like I have here, but typically while it's still attached to the actual project. As you can see, I don't have the other one right here. The other one's actually in the other box. You might have seen it. I also have a needle threader here. And I keep them here. It doesn't really matter where the threader goes. And that way, whenever I need needles, these are all size 24 tapestry needles. I just have them right there. These are for a project I have shown that is a temperature stitch for January and February. Did not need most of those colors. These right here and right here are for a stitch that I'm doing that was very old. Look for my upcoming podcast to learn about those two projects. This is a very nice bit of yarn I got while in Arizona, and we went to a needle shop. This is a needle hopper or thread hopper, and what you do is you stick one stitch in your project, and then you use the other one to count. And then you can count in a different direction with the first needle. So it really helps to keep track of where you need to start, especially if there's a larger gap. And I've got some 310 and some blanc, so black and white, that are spare because you never know when you're going to need more. And I have space for a few more projects if I decided to do a few at a time. Now, you'll notice that there's a couple different ways that I do the names. So these didn't have numbers, but these ones did. So if I'm getting DMC, I do have a sheet where it has all the numbers. As you can see, I have used a bunch of them. But something I enjoy doing a little bit more, especially once I've already used up all of a particular number, is I use these. And then they kind of go down into the bobbin a little bit. As you can see, it goes down into the bobbin and the thread holds itself. And the thread will hold itself. As you can see, I've got it tucked under, and then I wrap around on top, and then I only have stuck in here the start. And because I've got the start stuck in here, I know where to go to start unwinding and rewinding. And you can put more than just the start. If you have extra little bits, you can just wind them up. So there's always that. And to wind a bobbin, I've got a handy dandy little gizmo. You just kind of stick it on like that. You stick the bobbin in here, put the hole inside in between the two little lips. They go wah, wah, lip right there, and then you crank, and it goes really quickly. Over 100 bobbins does not go particularly quickly, but when you've only got like 5 to 10, it's not that bad. So this is the one I keep in my chest where I keep all of my current projects. And these handy dandy little scissors are good for thread or yarn. So that's my system. I hope you found that interesting, and happy crafting. Bye!